outdoor industry for decades, but increasing pressure from police, poachers and bad weather made things difficult for growers.
In recent years, we're starting to encounter indoor cultivation.
Come on in to the Cannabis Cavern. Running water, bright warm lights, everything necessary to grow marijuana underground.
And when growers moved indoors, they also began to use the full range of modern horticultural techniques. Plants were cloned, genes manipulated.
Yours, man? Nah, but got the spur outside. Yeah, you good eating, good at Joe. Okay, sweet.
Mallow puffs exhale, pass your eyes like new toffee pop. Starts the spot harvest up another fresh crop. As exciting as discovery of
the neighbourhood tinny house had become a fixture, just like the corner dairy. You could wander in at any time of day and pick up a $20 cannabis bullet, with the profit going directly to the New Zealand gangs.
Marijuana is the cash crop for gangs. There's so much money there. It's a stable, steady income. And the gangs from right through the 80s and through most of the 90s subsisted on marijuana.
Their experience over the years through cannabis, through 30, 40 years of being lean, has certainly given them tentacles into all facets of users and supply networks.
The organised gangs were interested in expansion into other areas, and the perfect product was a more potent variant of the amphetamine formula, methamphetamine. The drug first arrived in New Zealand in 1979.
There was a senior member of the Hells Angels at that time who was flown to Australia to learn with the Australian chapters of the Hells Angels how to make methamphetamine.
When methamphetamine was first marketed in New Zealand, it was coming out at about 3 to 5% purity. It was marketed as a drug that you took nasally, you snorted meth. Poor man's coke or crank, it was cut up and you snorted it.
Methamphetamine was around for 20 years, but it didn't sell well. Then at the end of 1999, there was a meeting between the New Zealand gangs and a prominent Auckland businessman.
$750,000 of his own money towards developing that trade. And that was to buy the precursor chemicals, to get cooks trained up, and to establish distribution networks.
The old so-called ethnic gangs versus white gangs versus each other arguments have making way now for business.
Methamphetamine was rebranded and relaunched.
It was presented as a drug that you should smoke. The P market was on the rise.
It became P for pure. More people experimented, and more people discovered its effects.
I remember inhaling the smoke and holding it in, and then you just feel, like a pleasure wave coming over your whole body, and your breathing starts to increase, and it's just like waves and waves of pleasure. As well as the pleasure, it makes you very alert, super alert, awake. It's like even your hearing gets better. Everything around you acutely.
I was just at a friend's place. I saw the pipe being passed around, so I tried it. But the next day I was back spending my $100 and buying a point, because it did give me a hit, and it was an alert hit, and I liked the alertness. And so for about 3 months I did it. With hindsight, I can see exactly what P did. I mean, it's a concentrated form of speed, and it gives you, that first time you have it, a euphoric hit that makes you incredibly alert, and you do get a hit. Now, the problem from that moment on is that if you do P, you're seeking that original hit. Your brain keeps a memory of it. Yet, no matter how much you do, and that's why you do more and more and more, you're constantly seeking to get back to that brain memory point of that first hit, and you never will.
Big City.
3 single gals back on town.
Man.
Seaman, 12 o'clock. I pray when I turn around there are sailors, because with her, you never know.
Big surprises.
Can you believe the size of my nipples? Your breasts are huge.
Big attitudes.
I am going to have sex with a sailor tonight. I'm a whole new Charlotte York.
Brought to you
I caught him eating Samantha
by Bailey's. Sex in the City returns 10 o'clock tonight on 3.
Pottery tips for Lion Red drinkers. Pottery is a great way to make friends.
Don't you just love this song? That's nice. Oh.
While creating a truly unique piece.
Oh, I love the glaze you've used.
Yeah, it's barbecue.
Make the clay your friend, and soon you'll end up special.
Here's one, Reed.
You're the new girl.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, you are.